Hey, Noam,
Hi.
tell the people what it felt like when you knew 5 years ago that we were supposed to move back to the States. And I said to you, how do you feel about it?
Right. Well, we went before that just for a visit. And I remember when you asked me, I told you, Bellingham, that area in Washington State is so beautiful. People are nice and it's comfortable life. And I told you from that aspect it would be great. But from spiritual aspect, I remember telling you it's going to be tough because the temptation just to go on with life and let things flow and just be at ease and peace is so strong, but that leads you to complacency.
And it's not just one part of the state. Do you feel like it's just basically the church in America?
Yeah, in Tennessee, when we went to Tennessee also, I realized that as well.
Very comfortable.
Yes, and logically thinking, why would they worry about Israel?
Yeah.
It's only if you are really connected in the spirit to Israel, then it would be different.
But getting back, because we go to a fabulous church, Redemption to the Nations in Chattanooga, where you're on your edge of your seat and you're being challenged. But getting back to the complacency, something that was said on our way down through the Jordan. I love driving the Jordan Valley. I always have to drive it. I've actually driven this Jordan Valley route to Galilee by myself, actually many times, and nobody could believe I would do it.
Right.
But one of the things that hit me is that, coming back here to live in Israel again, it's pressure.
Right. In Israel, if you are a believer, it's a real challenge to keep your peace and calm. Even just driving from place to place, especially around Jerusalem and in Jerusalem, it's very tough because people are not polite. People are not just letting you go first.
Yeah.
So you really, I remember for myself in the very beginning, I told myself, okay, what scripture can I use to remind me of the peace and where I'm going in the spirit? So remember the scripture in 1 Corinthians 10 that says, why don't you rather let yourself be cheated? So if cars come ahead and cheat me, I said, okay, let them. I'm exercising this scripture. I'm living this scripture.
This is really good. Because one of the things that the Lord gave as we were driving, and I looked at you and I said, Noam, I said, no wonder there's so much pressure in Israel just to live and exist and survive.
Right.
Because out of that pressure, like the Garden of Eden, that oil press, the pressure, the finest pressing is the finest oil that lights the lamp. And Israel is to be the lamp. Israel to be the city upon the hill. No wonder there's so much pressure just living here and existing here, because the Lord, it wants to produce the finest light for the nations to be drawn to his holy mountain.
Right, and that's what many Christians need to remember. As the scripture says, we need to rejoice in tribulation. Why? Because really hard life, that's what push us. That's what really take out the best out of us.
Amen.
That's what bring out the finest oil, as you say.
I'm getting up. Why am I getting up, Noam? Because we're
so
sitting on rocks. Honestly, I have a fried back end. I feel like I just sat on a frying pan. No, do you feel that? Or does your Israeli bottom doesn't feel that?
My bottom is a little bit different.
Okay, so my Gentile, Messianic Gentile bottom just got fried on the frying pan, sitting on a rock. That was it.
Well, was the degrees here is 37 Celsius.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's 95 maybe.
Oy vey,
So it's pretty hot here.
Amen.
So no wonder you felt that.
But we just wanted to stop and just share these thoughts from Noam and also from myself as being one that has lived here and one that's going to be coming back to live here. To let the churches know, you must pray for the believers that live here. You must pray for those that occupy and to stand in the land and to know that this is God's given land, and to know that the feet of Yeshua is coming back to this land.
Right.
That you would pray and intercede for strength and endurance and patience and long suffering and kindness. All of the fruit of the Spirit you need here. Now,
Right.
do I have patience? Is what always want to call it a donut, but it's not. It's
Savlanut. Yes, this is something that, again, the scripture says that trouble brings patience. Now, it's also in the word savlanut in Hebrew. If I look at the root, sevel means suffering. So you see, actually, it's a confirmation, just understanding the Hebrew word of savlanut, patience, that it actually comes when you have trouble. You don't have patience when everything goes smooth. It's
Right.
only when you have a hard time, then you exercise
Yes.
patience, and that's when you acquire patience step by step. And that's why suffering is good for you.
So let's remind each other, especially the wild olive branches, that when Noam just kind of goes through life and he's always smiling and he's always looking at me, he says, patience, beloved. And I always tell him personally, I have a hard time just even producing the bud, let alone the blossom, let alone the fruit. But we're going to move right now because I am burning, okay?
Yes, so
So we love you, and
love
we'll
you.
stop
God
at another
bless.
spot.
Shalom.
Bye-bye.